They served with honor, they fought for our freedom, and they were promised an education as part of the deal, a thank you from a grateful nation. But when it came time to collect those benefits, the Department of Veterans Affairs said, no. And here's the kicker, the Supreme Court ruled in their favor, and still, the VA is denying them. So we have to ask the question, why is the VA refusing to give these veterans what they've earned? Let's start with the man whose name is now part of U.S. legal history, Captain James Rudisill. He joined the Army in 2000 and went on to serve 3 combat tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. He was awarded the Bronze Star and left active duty to earn his undergraduate degree, using benefits from the Montgomery GI Bill. But Captain Rudisill didn't stop there. He re-enlisted. More tours, more combat. And with that service came eligibility for the post-9/11 GI Bill, a newer, more generous package. When Rudisill applied to use those benefits to attend Yale Divinity School, to return to the Army as a chaplain, the VA told him he couldn't. They said he had to choose, either use his Montgomery GI Bill benefits, or the post-9/11 GI Bill, not both. Never mind that he'd earned both through separate periods of service. So he fought back, not with a rifle this time, but with a lawsuit. And in 2024, in a 7-2 decision, the Supreme Court of the United States ruled in his favor. They made it clear, veterans who qualify for both GI Bill programs through separate enlistments are entitled to use both, up to a combined 48 months of benefits. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson wrote that the VA had misinterpreted the law and that their approach unfairly punished veterans for serving longer. That should have been the end of it. Victory, case closed. But it wasn't. Because now, incredibly, the VA is denying benefits again, not to Rudisill this time, but to Lieutenant Colonel Paul Yoon of the U.S. Army and Colonel Toby Doran of the U.S. Air Force. Both men served with distinction. Colonel Doran wore the Air Force uniform for over 2 decades, with deployments to the Middle East and beyond. Lieutenant Colonel Yoon served as a chaplain with the 101st Airborne Division, one of the most storied units in the U.S. Army, deploying to Iraq, Afghanistan, and Kosovo. Together, they've been awarded everything from the Bronze Star to the Meritorious Service Medal. And both of them earned separate periods of eligibility under the Montgomery and post-9/11 GI Bills, just like Captain Rudisill did. And yet, here we are again. The VA is refusing to grant them their full 48 months of benefits. Their argument this time, that only veterans who had a break in service between enlistments are entitled to both. But that's not what the Supreme Court said. So now these 2 veterans are once again forced to fight. Not against an enemy on the battlefield, but against the very bureaucracy that promised to support them. And they're not alone. Over 50 state attorneys general have now come out in support of Doran and Yoon, filing a friend of the court brief urging the VA to comply with the ruling. That includes Virginia Attorney General Jason Miyares, who is leading the charge. Miyares said it best, the VA's refusal to honor that promise defies the law and dishonors their service. We agree. And the truth is, this isn't the first time veterans have had to fight for what was already promised to them. From delays in PTSD claims to the long, hard battle for recognition of Agent Orange exposure, from burn pit legislation to broken systems at the VA, it's clear our veterans often have to fight twice. Once in uniform, and once at home. That's unacceptable. If we as a country promise benefits to those who serve, then we must honor that promise. No red tape, no legal loopholes, no bureaucratic foot-dragging. Just what was earned. What do you think? Should veterans have to go to court to get the benefits they were told they'd receive? Should the VA have the power to interpret a Supreme Court ruling however it pleases? Let us know in the comments. And if you believe in accountability, if you believe in honoring our warriors not just with words, but with actions, then like this video, share it, and subscribe to Veteran Spot. We bring you the stories that the mainstream won't touch, because we know what it means to wear the uniform, and we know what's at stake when promises are broken. Stay sharp, stay proud, stay free,